Hi, welcome to this week's Torah. This week's Parshas Chayei Soro, gives us a lesson that we need to keep in mind when we contemplate the loss of one of the great leaders of Anglo Jewry, our former chief rabbi, Lord Rabbi Sachs. And the Torah tells us Avram Avinu, who was also a great Jewish leader, actually the first great Jewish leader that we ever had, comes to the Bnei Ches. His wife has passed away and he's looking for a place to bury his wife Soro. And they show him and they tell him that you can have anywhere you want to. You can take any place. And why is that? Because they preface it with the following. They say to him, Nisi Elokim ata besochenu. You are the Prince of God amongst us. And therefore, wherever you want to go and whatever you want to do, we will try to help you because we realize that you represent God and that godliness is within inside you. And therefore, we would like to be there to help you and we will make it possible any way we can so that you can have what you need. And I think, when I think about Lord Sachs, Olav Shalom, the thought that I have and the description maybe that I could give to him would be the same one. Nisi Elokim ata besochenu. A Prince of God, you are amongst us. Amongst not just the Jewish people, but probably more importantly even, amongst general society. Chief Rabbi Sachs, Olav Shalom, was seen as a leader, as a thinker, as a doer, and as somebody to be looked up to. People had a different respect for Jews because they knew that there was a leader like Lord Sachs amongst them. Lord Sachs stood in front of Parliament and made speeches. He stood in front of kings and monarchs and heads of states and he spoke and he was able to impress them and impress upon them the importance of morality, the importance of God in this world, and the fact that we have a purpose, a higher purpose to live for. And all that, with his passing, has now been lost to us. And it is a great loss for Anglo Jewry, it's a great loss for world Jewry, but it is also a great loss for the world as a whole. And the question for us is, who will be the next Nasi Elokim? Who else can be the person that will shine a light from the Jewish people out onto the rest of the Jewish people, but also even further afield, shining a light to the rest of civilization and showing them that we have not just one Prince of God amongst us, but many, many people can fill that void, probably not as eloquent, not as beautifully as was done by Rabbi Sachs. But you can also be the person to make that Kiddush Hashem. You can also be the person that people look up to and say, this person has godliness inside them, and the way they behave and the way they speak and everything about them is godly because they live with God all the time. So may his memory be a blessing for all of us, for world Jewry and for the world. And may he get his true reward in Olam Haba, what he deserves for being this great ambassador for the Jewish people out to the world and shining that light from his place in London out onto the entire globe. Wishing you all a very good Shabbos and wishing the family Chaim Aruchim, long life and no further tzaras in the future.